Life and legacy of Pope Francis. Early life and background. Jorge Mario Bergoglio was born on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to Italian immigrants. He was the eldest of 5 children. His father was a railway worker and his mother a homemaker. From an early age, Jorge demonstrated intelligence, humility, and a strong Catholic faith. Before joining the priesthood, he studied chemistry and worked briefly as a technician. A severe illness in his youth, an infection that led to the removal of part of his lung, deepened his sense of spirituality and commitment to service. Religious life and rise in the Church. In 1958, he entered the Society of Jesus, Jesuits, a Catholic religious order known for its emphasis on education, intellectual rigor, and missionary work. He was ordained a priest in 1969 and became deeply involved in teaching and theological training. Jesuit Provincial, 1973 to 1979, during Argentina's Dirty War, Bergoglio was a controversial figure. While some accused him of not doing enough to protect leftist priests, others credit him with quietly helping people escape persecution. Archbishop of Buenos Aires, 1998, as Archbishop, he became known for his humility. He lived in a small apartment, cooked his own meals, and took public transportation. Cardinal, 2001. Elevated to cardinal by Pope John Paul II, Bergoglio became an influential voice in Latin America, particularly on issues of poverty, human rights, and spiritual renewal. On March 13, 2013, following the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI, the first papal resignation in nearly 600 years, Bergoglio was elected as the 266th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. He chose the name Francis, in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi, a symbol of humility, peace, and concern for the poor and the environment. This choice set the tone for his entire papacy. Key themes of Pope Francis's papacy. 1. Humility and simplicity. Francis rejected many of the traditional trappings of the papacy. He chose to live in a modest guest house instead of the apostolic palace, wore simple vestments, and frequently emphasized servant leadership. His papal motto, Miserando atque elegendo, lowly but chosen, reflects his focus on mercy and humility. 2. Social justice and the poor. Pope Francis has consistently advocated for the poor, calling poverty and inequality the scandal of our times. His concern for economic justice is rooted in the belief that the Church must be a poor church for the poor. He has spoken out against unrestrained capitalism, exploitation of labor, consumerism and materialism. 3. Environmental stewardship. In 2015, Francis published Laudato Si', Praise be to You, an encyclical that calls for urgent action on climate change and environmental degradation. It is one of the most significant documents on the environment ever produced by a religious leader, linking ecological health with social and economic justice. 4. Church reform and synodality. Francis has worked to decentralize church authority, encouraging local churches and bishops to play a more active role in decision-making. He has also promoted synodality, meaning a more collaborative, listening-based approach to church governance. Reforms include efforts to make the Vatican Bank more transparent, reorganizing the Roman Curia, the Church's central administration, hosting synods that encourage open debate on contentious issues, for example, family life, LGBTQ+ inclusion, and clerical celibacy. 5. Response to the clerical sexual abuse crisis. Although the Church's response to abuse scandals predates Francis, he has taken notable steps to address it. Established a Vatican Commission for the Protection of Minors. Removed or disciplined bishops who mishandled abuse cases. Convened a global summit of church leaders in 2019 to address the issue. Critics argue he could do more, but many acknowledge he's brought a more pastoral and survivor-centered approach than past leaders. 6. Interfaith dialogue and global diplomacy. Pope Francis has made significant strides in promoting peace and mutual understanding between religions. Historic meeting with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, leading to the document on human fraternity, 2019. Reconciliation efforts with Jewish and Eastern Orthodox communities. Support for Muslim refugees and visits to war zones and refugee camps. He has also played a diplomatic role in global politics, including facilitating dialogue between Cuba and the United States in 2014. 7. Stance on contemporary moral issues. Francis has maintained traditional Catholic doctrine while adopting a more pastoral and merciful tone. LGBTQ+ issues, while upholding church teaching on marriage, He has famously said, "Who am I to judge?" regarding gay individuals seeking God. Divorced and remarried Catholics advocated for a more welcoming approach, including potential access to communion. Women in the Church, he has expanded roles for women in church administration and initiated discussions on female deacons, though ordination remains limited to men. Pope Francis is widely regarded as one of the most influential and transformative popes of the modern era. His legacy includes a more compassionate, outward-looking church, global leadership on climate and poverty, an inclusive tone that resonates beyond Catholicism, tensions within the Church, as some conservatives criticize him for straying from tradition. Though his reforms have not been without opposition, Francis has shifted the Church's focus from institutional self-preservation to mission, mercy, and outreach.